And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another day of WTL World Team League 2024 Summer Contest Round 8, day number 2. I'm of course host Live VIP, and with me I'm joined by these amazing players, the people in the chat, and as always, my plushies as well. Welcome everyone. Welcome to something a little bit different, a little bit special, because typically WTL is over the weekend, and we were casting live day 1 and day 3, but this is day number 2, and this is going to be a bit of a replay cast. As a heads up to those in the chat, these events did occur on Saturday, and usually we cast it live, but if you're here on Saturday, we were busy casting Cheesadelphia. Cheesadelphia was a 10-hour-long event over in the land of the Americas. It was big, it was massive, it was beautiful. We crowned our cheese champion. It was amazing. But because of that, we were otherwise preoccupied and we couldn't cast this event as they did clash. They did overlap, at least a little bit. But now we're back to catch up on what happened over the weekend, what happened in day 2 of WTL. Here we go. We are starting things off with the Platinum Heroes R8 versus Mystery Gaming All Gamers. And we have our lineups. We have Kelazhur versus Lancer, YoungYakov versus Strange, and Goblin versus Coffee. Oh boy, honestly, some really nicely lined up matches here. Like, all these players are similarly skilled. A lot of these players, I would say, are pretty close. And I remember going for the predictions here. I remember having a really hard time kind of not having won once. Like, I had a really hard time going for 2 zeros in either direction. I think I went 1-1 all along the entire score line. I was tempted for Kelazhur versus Lancer. I was tempted for Strange versus YoungYakov. I was trying to figure out like what I wanted to go in either direction, and I had a really hard time picking. For those curious what I'm talking about, in our Discord server, over in our Discord, we do actually hold prediction games. We have predictions every single week, and we do actually tally and keep rank and keep score of everyone posting their predictions, and we will see who comes out on top of the prediction game at the end of the season. So best of luck to everyone involved in that as we are getting into our first matchup, Kelazhur versus Lancer. Oh boy. And I'll be honest, this is ace versus ace. I would go as far as to say that Kelazhur is the highest ranked player in Platinum R8. Likewise, Lancer as well for Mystery All Gamers. I know there are some coffee fans. I know there's some coffee fans out there. I'm one as well, but Lancer has been popping off as of late, especially in the ESL weeklies, taking down big name Korean players, big name European players in events like Kung Fu Cup and ESL Asia. So Lancer has been on fire. Likewise, Kelazhur has been improving a lot over the past 6 months as well, even vying for contention of #1 in the Americas. It was shocking to see how far Kelazhur shot up, surpassing Special, surpassing Future. I would say Kelazhur is the best Terran in the Americas, still in the shadow of Australia. You know, Australia is the #1 in the region, but Kelazhur does vie for that and does contest against that. And here we go, we're getting to our next into game 1, and in the top right hand corner we have Kelazhur for Platinum R8. And in the bottom left we have Lancer for Mystery All Gamers. Let us go. Are going to be settling in. As a reminder for the format of this event, and before I get ahead of myself, of course, a big shout out to Sort of. So my apologies. A massive shout out to Sort of SC in the chat. Of course, an amazing player in his own right, was streaming earlier today, bright and early in the land of Europa. So thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you have a great day, and I hope you did not stay up 24 hours and just now going to bed. I hope that did not happen. Este sort of. But we're going to be settling in. Welcome everyone, welcome to WTL. This is a best of 7. Best of 7 between both teams, but the best of 7 is constructed with best of 2s. We have best of 2s between all these players, so best of 2 between Kelazhur and Lancer, best of 2 between Coffee and Goblin, and of course YoungYakov and Strange, so we have best of 2s all around. And if we do go for 1-1 tied up score lines, then we will have an ace match. We'll have a best of 1 ace match at the end to determine who takes the series. For now, we're focusing on our TVP, and we do have some interesting openers. Economic opener at a Kelazhur, I don't know if you see on the minimap, but that was a single gas opener from Kelazhur, so it was going for a faster CC on the low ground, so greedy or economic play here by Kelazhur. Meanwhile, Lancer going for a standard opener, went for a gate, cyber, expand, back at home. So early game is going to be pretty chill. Did I speak too soon? Early game should be pretty chill and should be pretty cool, calm, and collected here from both Kelazhur and Lancer, but we are going to be hiding our probe. I imagine the idea here is that the probe hides from the Reaper, Reaper moves out, probe moves in for a scout as we are hugging the edge of the wall. Meanwhile, Kelazhur did open up Marine actually and is looking for that probe. He's hunting for it as we speak, checking the third base location before coming back around. As the probe does suck it in, does hug the wall, does stay safe and sound. Meanwhile, we have our take of choice from the side of Lancer. It's going to be a Twilight Council opener from our Chinese Protoss player. Meanwhile, we see Kelazhur not going for anything crazy like a 3cc 3 Rax. He's going for a Rax into factory after the CC. So everything's looking as it should, getting to his own 1-1-1, I imagine. We'll keep an eye on Kelazhur. I said we'll keep an eye on him just because he is quite an aggressive player in this matchup. We've seen a lot of 2-base all-ins out of Kelazhur in TVP. And that is going to be a starport, not a second rack. So far, everything's kind of lining up here. 1-1-1 follow-up here by Kelazhur, getting into drop play, I imagine. And we'll see if Lancer can get a read on what's going on. For now, he does confirm the Hellion, so that is a tell that it is not a 3-Rax. 3-Raxes have been trending up as of late. We've seen a lot of players embrace 3-Raxes or 3-Rax variations. Not here, not this time, and Lancer does confirm. Ooh, but that is an early tank. Okay, that is Hellion into tank production, so really fast tank production here out of Kelazhur. I feel like we're going to be working towards something like a tank drop with a medevac, maybe 2 tanks moving across the map, ideally hunting down some of these stray buildings in the main or even pushing towards the natural, but very big sign of aggression here for Kelazhur. And Lancer's in the dark. But Lancer's playing safe. You can see here in the production tab, 2 more gateways on the way. 2 extra gates on the way. That's going to be a 3-gate blink opener. With 3-gate blink, we're pretty safe and sound. We have extra gateways here to warp in, to reinforce, to go toe-to-toe with the army of Kelazhur. Not as greedy as, say, 2-gate blink into a 3rd, for example. And we can see that Lancer is mining through those middle patches on the left-hand side. His goal there is to mine through and expand linearly here towards the linear 3rd base. So a very safe 3rd is going to be taken. The only way to apply pressure to that base is with a drop. Or breaking down some rocks. And it takes a while. It takes a while to break down those rocks, so yeah, it is going to be quite a safe expansion here for Lancer. That's one of the big features of this map, is how safe your 3rd and 4th base can be. But here comes that drop, and here comes that tank. Ooh, the Adept, did we scout the medevac? That would have been close. That would have been very close. Both tanks, they were just about to move out. Alas, forces siege, forces it up defensively, forced to make it look like we're staying back at home when Kelazhur did not want to. We spoke about it. This was meant to be a double tank drop across the map, and yeah, now we're stuck at home. Stalkers do poke in, they pick away at the Marines, and this is good damage for Lancer. I mean, he's not breaking Kelazhur by any means, but he is containing Kelazhur and denying him his build. Kelazhur wanted to be aggressive, wanted to be active, and now he's stuck at home. Whew. So, nice moves here out of Lancer. That means he gets away with the 3rd base. 3rd base is getting up and running. What I will say from the side of Kelazhur, even though he is contained, and even though he wanted to be aggressive and can't be anymore, is at least he keeps his tanks alive. You know, it's not like he got caught moving out and he got surrounded and he lost his army or anything like that. It's not that dire. He just got spotted, so he backs off, builds up, and gets ready for wave number 2. Hallucination is going to dive in and confirm the production. A 3rd CC is on the way. The Hallucination does confirm the 3rd CC. That tells Lancer that, okay, it's not going to be a 2-base all-in. It's not going to be hyper-aggressive. Means that I can cut corners, tech up, focus on upgrades, be somewhat greedy getting into the mid-game. So nice scout at a Lancer. Meanwhile, the Marine drop does get across the map. Now, these are vanilla Marines. No stim, no combat shields, so they're not too effective, but they can focus on the probes. They get a Stalker, they get 2 probes, and almost getting a 3rd. Oh, just barely. Just barely they get a 3rd probe. It's okay. It's an okay amount of damage. Marines are pretty expendable. Marines, you know, we can throw them away. Medevac's less so. That was a medevac going down, and we're going for the tank. A little bit greedy here at a Lancer. And he gets it. He gets the tank, and he doesn't lose a single Stalker that I speak too soon. Oh, the auto turret. We lose 1 Stalker. But do we get the Raven? Not quite. Bit of miscontrol. Ooh, that's brutal. Lancer with a reaction on cams there. Went for a very risky maneuver. He got the tank, which was good. He didn't lose anything for the tank, but got too greedy. Got too greedy. He lost 4 Stalkers for nothing there towards the end. Technically 4 Stalkers for a tank. Not the best trade for Lancer. Not the best trade. Just a little bit too greedy towards the end there. Meanwhile, we have SCV being pulled. We can repair those Ravens. 4 more Stalkers move out, and we do get eyes on the would-be 3rd base. We'll be able to delay. We'll be able to get an SCV. We get one, we get two SCVs, picking away at those Marines once again. Remember, Stim is not done, so we can fight the bio, at least for the next couple of seconds as Stim is about to finish up. Behind this, Lancer's fully saturated on 3 bases. We should be seeing a 4th momentarily, especially with Kelazhur expanding, and we'll see how we expand as we actually are expanding towards our opponent on the left-hand side. It's a bold move. Is a bold move, assuming that's where we're going to be expanding. We'll see where we do take the 4th. Okay. Triangular 3rd. Never mind. So Lancer going to be expanding back at home, taking his 4th, getting into a splash damage of choice, working towards Colossus production. We have Extend Thermal Lands, Colossus on the way. Only the 1 robo for the time being, but once the 4th base gets up and running, once we take extra gases, we can afford a 2nd robo and double robo production. So we're building up. Lancer's building up. Remember, he saw the 3rd base earlier, so he knows that he could afford to invest into all these upgrades, into all this tech. Meanwhile, Kelazhur finally moving out with his first push. He's got 2 tanks, he's got those 2 Ravens from earlier, as he was able to reserve both of them. Not too much bio here, but really the main bulk of the DPS is going to be coming from those tanks. Marauder's coming in to reinforce. Force fields do slice up the army. Very nice force fields. Yeah, the army is pinned back. There's 1 disable, but the disable doesn't really do too much here. Kelazhur is pinned back, and Lancer can wait out the disable. Now, I believe there's 1 disable left. I believe because there were 2 Ravens, they each had 1. What they do. So Kelazhur thankfully still has 1 in the chamber. Does rotate around. Lancer try to catch reinforcements, alas he gets caught instead. But now we're up to 3 Colossus. Ay, ay, ay. We're very well set up. I believe we have shield battery set up as well at the 3rd base. Sorry, at the 4th base even. Yeah, we're going to have an overcharge as well. The army is spotted. And Lancer does rotate. But Kelazhur makes it up the ramp this time. Does make it up the ramp. Won't be caught out. Tanks are sieged. Ravens are ready. Remember, they do have a disable. And we're collapsing in. Yeah, tanks are going to be targeted down. Ravens late to respond. And now we get our disable, but it's too little too late. We can shut down the main army. We disable every single Colossus, but the Gateway army is enough. We focus down the bio. We focus down the Ravens. At the same time, double jump across the map. Lancer out of position. Oh, but oh my god, a full medevac goes down. Papi, calm down. We shut down the full medevac, just the 1 Marine survives, and Lancer, he's looking good here. What's scary about what just happened, okay, Lancer, he reset the tank count, he reset the Raven count, he shut down the bio, and Lancer maintains all 3 Colossus. That's what's terrifying here. As we might be overextending a little bit, we do need some reinforcements for those Colossi. Nice EMP. EMP does connect, Viking going ham. Nice kiting, but the first Colossus is going to go down. Again, there's no War Prism here to juggle, no War Prism to micro. And Lancer, he's going to be bleeding out every single unit here. This was not the fight to take. Stalkers arrive, but a little bit too late, and we lose every single Colossus. Ay, ay, ay. The Prism arrives, but once again, these reinforcements, they were needed with the main army, and Lancer, he pulled the trigger too soon. Did pull the trigger a little bit too soon. Once again, we saw that a little bit earlier when he was trying to snipe that Raven. We see it here, pushing in without his reinforcements. Honestly, if he had waited for these reinforcements, he might just be able to end the game. Like, this move out may have just ended the game here and now if this had the rest of his robo units. I mean, he still has a terrifying army, still pushing in. We'll focus on those medevacs. Zealots are running out. Okay, we clean up the Zealots. Stalkers, they're going for the medevacs. They do manage to pick off most of them. But Kelazhur does hold. Does hold on, cost him 11 SCVs. But Kelazhur's economy is still on par, if not superior, than that of Lancer. Sure, Lancer has a higher probe count. We have mules. We have mules back. And Lancer has to start from the beginning here, from scratch when it comes to his Colossus. Now back up to 1 Colossus. Hasn't taken his gases yet. What I'm referring to, he hasn't taken gases at his 4th or his 3rd base, which means Lancer can't actually afford a 2nd robo. So replacing that robot army, it's going to take a while. Okay, going to take quite some time here. Oh, sorry, I scratched that. We do have a 2nd robo. Should be working towards double Colossus production soon as we're taking a 6th base. Sorry, 5th base. I can count. 5th base is on the way. Lancer stuck at home, and Kelazhur, he has momentum. He has a lead in supply here. Ay, ay, ay. And can Lancer hold on with 2 Colossus? Does have the high ground, does have the overcharge, depending on the angle of attack. We'll see. Bearing in mind as well that Lancer is spreading himself thin with his base, with his expansion pattern. He's spread pretty thin towards the left and right hand side. So it's so important right now for Lancer to get eyes on the map, to get eyes on the army movement of Kelazhur. We have some nice pylon positioning on the left-hand side of the map for Lancer, but we're lacking that on the right. There we go, disruptors are on the way. We're up to 2 Colossus, I believe. I think we stopped at 2. Don't think we have a 3rd. Drop into the main. Kelazhur does pull back. And looks like the game is going to settle down a little bit here. I say settle down, the armies are about to clash, but both players are maxing out. Nice EMP on the Stalkers, but we get a big Zealot Warp in into the main base. SCVs are going down. Yeah, we're not quite ready for the Warp in. At the same time, Kelazhur are getting caught out. Medevacs are falling once again. Nice target firing here out of Lancer. It denies the expansion, snipes the Medevacs, and gets another Warp in into the main. This one won't be as effective. Oh, yeah. As the Zealots are going to get trapped and are going to be shut down. Not as effective here. But we have been banking up disruptors. We're up to, what, 3, 4, soon to be 5 and 6? It's a lot of disruptors back. Disruptors are amassing. Now, disruptors, of course, they're high risk, high reward. You know, they can connect, they can make a fight or break a fight here. They can come out, or they can, of course, whiff. So we'll see how good the control is going to be as Kelazhur, he's diving in towards the 3rd. Army somewhat in position. Never goes off. And we do get a connection. Yeah, not too bad on the left, but the other does not quite connect. Up! Oh my god, never mind. The Novas, they are popping off. Kelazhur, he goes for the dive. We have the overcharge. With the help of the overcharge, it looks like Lancer, he will fend this off. He will hold. Mine shot going off. Nice reaction there. The Lancer does minimize his splash damage or his losses. But he lost a lot of disruptors in that fight. Lancer holds, but he's barely holding on. He doesn't have enough to keep on going. Yeah, the base is going to go down. He had, I want to say, 5 disruptors. He went down to 1. He lost far too much in the process, far too much in the defense. Overcharge is on cooldown. And Kelazhur, looks like he has broken this Nexus. And he can keep pushing. At the same time, Zealot Rambai will distract Kelazhur, but it's not getting too much damage done. Nice split. Oh my god. With the spread. The split spot. Kelazhur rotates towards the right-hand side. Focusing on his defense back at home is going to bleed out 7 SCVs, but will be able to maintain himself. Yo, Lancer has a vendetta against these medevacs. We've killed a lot of medevacs this game. Another medevac goes down. We catch some ghosts. Very nice pickoff here from Lancer. Very nicely done. Building up his disruptor count once again. Up to, what, 4 disruptors. There is potential. Lancer may be down in army supply, but the reality is that if we can connect some beautiful detonations on these Novas, if we can't connect them, we can take a fight. But they need to connect is the problem. Like that's the one chance that Lancer has. As Kelazhur, he's up, what, 60 supply. That's a lot of soup back. The other thing we could do, of course, is a Zealot Rambai, right? In the midst of an attack, if we go for a Zealot Rambai, if Kelazhur decides to turn back to defend, and if he loses a mineral line, like there are chances, there are opportunities here for Lancer to buy some time. But the Planetary's up and running. Lancer's trying to knock down rocks on the left-hand side. It's going to take a while for that to occur. Kelazhur is looking to knock down another base, another Nexus. Lancer trying to keep up. As we catch more, we catch more medevacs. I don't. Oh, as someone is having some latency issues here. Might be a player, it might be an observer. Hopefully everything is okay. Ooh. Hopefully everything's okay. Of course, we're more than happy to wait until the issue is resolved. And yeah, when it comes to the game state here, it's pretty in favor of Kelazhur. Like, Kelazhur has momentum, Kelazhur is ahead, but Lancer isn't out of this. Not yet, not yet. We've seen greater comebacks before, and I want to believe that we can bounce back here. We'll see. Also, thankfully, this latency issue occurred one of the fresh mining bases of Lancer, and here we go. We're coming back in. Do jump back in. Click Lancer was able to catch 1, maybe 2 medevacs, then pull back. Kelazhur likewise rotates over. does rotate. We have how many? Still 4 disruptors with the main army. And 3 Colossus Novas go up. Oh! Ooh, no splits! Yeah, massive connections here on Kelazhur. A good start for Lancer. A good start for the Protoss. Yeah, we have the high ground. Kelazhur being forced back. Do we have another Nova? We do! Ooh, we barely do split towards the end. But Kelazhur has to retreat, and despite being up heavily in supply, we're forcing the army back. Oh my god! Oh, another Nova! Diego! Oh my god. We were talking earlier, yo, if we had like the perfect Novas, then Lancer could bounce back, and somehow, some way we tie up the supply. Diego, he was up 50 supply, by the way. It was crazy. He was maxed out, and Lancer was at like 145 just merely a minute ago. Okay, we're in this. We're back in. Oh my god. Lancer, never count him out, Papi. Never count him out. As Lancer does hold on, getting to his rover production behind this, expanding, taking another base. Expanding, taking a 7th even. And on this 6 base economy, Lancer is rebuilding, is remaxing. Dark Shrine on the way. Double Forge upgrades. Kelazhur going for a Doom drop towards the left-hand side. I do like this. I do think that in a head-to-head fight, Lancer can take trades, as we've seen. Like, he can take trades head-to-head. But when it comes to splitting up his forces, that's where I feel like he is going to be at his weakest. Meanwhile, the Observer did spot the drop. Lancer rotates over. Yeah, he catches up. EMP on the Stalkers, but the Zealots, they do buffer. They do shut down the Ghosts. These are expensive losses. Oh my god, that was like, what, 6 Ghosts? Kelazhur, this was a costly drop here. He's trading with the Stalkers, but this is a gateway army. And he's gonna lose so many Ghosts here. Oh my god. Yeah, this was not worth it for Kelazhur. Is going to be reinforcing. Does have the planetary. He holds onto his base at least, but that was a brutal loss. And I believe that was most of the Ghosts. Yeah, there's 1 Ghost on the right-hand side. Oh. We had most of them towards the left. They all went down. There's 1 Ghost with the main army. This is the time for Lancer. This is the time to push in. And he is. And he does push forward. Novas once again running away the army. A little bit lackluster. A little bit with those Novas. Okay, we're up to 2 Ghosts now. Back up to 2. As the game settles down a little bit here, I would not be opposed to Lancer throwing down a Fleet Beacon and a Stargate and working towards Skytos. If that's how we wanted to approach the game. Otherwise, yeah, sticking with Robo is going to be okay. What I should say is that usually a Skytos transition is triggered by Liberators, and that's something that Diego doesn't have. He hasn't taken up into Libs despite going up against a ground-based army. That's kind of like my one criticism here about his army composition. Up until this point, though, he's been doing well outside of those Novas. This Lancer does attempt to poke in. Both armies are remaxed. They are back up there. But again, without Liberators, there's no kind of anchor point to zone the ground Protoss army away. That's the power of the Liberator, is to have more pushing power from the side of the Terran. That's something that Kelazhur just doesn't really have. Does come in with another double drop, though, or triple drop even. Yeah, Lancer's out of position. The base is going to be going down. At the same time, Lancer pushing in. Novas, they zone the army, but they don't connect. Zalarambe does get a surround on the planetary. On the Nova! Ooh. Once again, big connection, takes down a Ghost. Yeah, 1 Ghost left. We pull back, overcharge is popped. Once again, another Nova! Yeah, the Novas are popping off, and Lancer, he takes the fight. We trade a base for a base. Lancer going to be recalling a risky move. Does recall, does hold his own. Will protect his base. At the same time, Zealots, they catch reinforcements. The army is overstimmed. We can probably take that fight. Lancer, he pulls back. Does pull back, gets caught out. But who catches who? Once again, more Ghosts are exposed. That's 2 more Ghosts going down. At the same time, he does dive on the right-hand side, and we're pulling Kelazhur apart. DT's in the mix. Lancer has split up his army well. It looks like he's going to be consolidating his forces on the right-hand side. Is rotating over. Kelazhur does spot this with the center tower, so you can see that his drop on the left is pushing in. I believe recall is still on cooldown. I'm not certain of that. So likewise rotates once again. He'll be able to keep up. Likewise, the space isn't the most important base. Oof. This looks like another Nova connects. We barely missed it on cams there. I just saw a lot of red on the ground. And Lancer is still maxed out. Engaging with the army. No disruptors left here, which is concerning for the Protoss. The ground army does quite well. As I say that, Lancer reinforces. Yeah, focusing his attention here on the right-hand side. No more planetary. This base is vulnerable. And we just dive in. We dive in. The Vikings, they can't really do much here. In a way, dead supply. And we shut down the base. Nova goes off. Massive connection. Oh my god. The choke point was brutal. At the same time, Kelazhur will knock down a Nexus. But again, not the most important base here for Lancer. Lancer's just going to keep pushing. No reason to turn back. No reason to come back home. Takes down another planetary. Vikings will get the Colossus, but it might just be too little too late. As one Colossus barely stands. And Lancer snowballing out of control. Shuts down the main army. GG gets called. And Lancer takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Lancer fighting back. I mean, this was a roller coaster ride of emotions. Not gonna lie here. If you remember, initially Lancer was ahead. Lancer was looking good. And then Lancer threw away those Colossus. Remember when he moved out after shutting down the drop play, when he was pushing on 4 bases? Before his reinforcements, he moved out with like 3 Colossus, 2 Immortals. Didn't have his War Prism. Didn't have those Zealots or Stalkers that were still 30 seconds away. And Lancer lost everything. He lost everything then and there. And then Kelazhur took a massive lead from that moment. He was ahead in economy, ahead in army. But then the power of disruptors. the power of the Nova, Papi. The power of the Nova. Lancer, he was able to bounce back from the brink. And then we had more of a back and forth, is what I will say. Both players were maxed out, but Lancer, he did take better engagements, did take better fights, and in the end, did take the win. Whew. GG, well played. So the chat, he had more disruptors than fairly sure I need a shower after watching those disruptor hits. Wash yourself, papi. You're dirty. Ay. But we are getting into game number 2. This is the big advantage, or one of the big features of this format and of this tournament is, of course, loser's pick. No vetoes, and in the top right-hand corner, we have Kelazhur for Platinum R8. And in the top left, we have Lancer for Mystery All Gamers. Here we go. But again, one of the fun things about WTL is it is loser's pick. No vetoes whatsoever. So because of that, typically we see a lot of upsets in this tournament. We've seen a lot of players bring down Raynor, bring down Serral, bring down Maru, for example, with hyper specialized builds, with just crazy strategies that they have planned and prepared days in advance for a specific map, for a specific matchup, for a specific player. So because of that, WTL does favor like more preparation, players that do prefer preparation based like kind of play. So players like Lambo, they excel, for example, in an event like WTL. I know the Shopify boys have had interviews in the past where they talk about WTL and they say that they take it very seriously and they all help each other prepare for their matches and prepare for their series. Likewise, I think Firefly is best at that. Players like Firefly, players like Rex, they always come in with like either like cheese or just something crazy for game number 2 in case they do lose game 1. So we'll see what Kelazhur, what he's been cooking. What have you been cooking, Pat? Let's find out. Here we go. As for now, it is going to be a, once again, single gas opener. So it was a Rax Expand out of Kelazhur. Same opener as game 1, something more economic from the Terran player. This means we're not going for any early game aggression. Winding it back a little bit, I mean, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to game 1. There's just so many layers and so many facets of what happened in game 1. But it all started with a double tank drop. A double tank drop that was denied, that was scouted, and Kelazhur was contained, and it allowed Lancer to be a little bit greedier early on, which is what led to his advantage. We'll see if that is the case here, if, again, Kelazhur does switch things up. For now, Twilight Council opener out of our Protoss player. It's going to be a Twilight Council into Blink. We'll keep an eye on how many gateways Lancer does throw down. On a map like Ghost River, I imagine at least 3 gateways. This map is very small, it's very congested. I'm sure a big reason as to why Kelazhur chose this map is to be aggressive, is to be in the face of Lancer. Meanwhile, First Adept gets across the map, takes down the first Reaper. Sorry, takes down the first Marine. There was no Reaper. Marine goes down SCV as well, not bad. The Adept trading nicely and is going to be able to shade away. The Hellion is confirmed, so Lancer once again confirms it is not a 1-1-1. Sorry, it's not a 3-Rax. It is a 1-1-1, or 1-1-1 variation. We can see the starport is done, and do we go for another tech lab on the factory? Do we go for another fast tank? My eyes are on that production tab. No, we don't go for... Okay, we go for the add-on switch. Tech lab no longer on the factory. That is a Banshee in the production tab. Let's go. So a very different build here by Kelazhur, rushing to cloak Banshees of all things. And we'll see if this goes unscouted. As we've spoken, as we've mentioned in the kind of aftermath of I Am Katowice, tank Banshee has been very trendy in this matchup. Very trendy. Seen a lot of the Korean Terrans, a lot of the European Terrans embrace Banshees in this matchup. This year specifically. And Kelazhur is one to embrace it as well. Banshees on the way, tanks are on the horizon. This can lead into a 2-base all-in with a hefty tank push with Banshees to support. We even saw that last night. I think it was Björn. I think we were casting... was it Björn versus Classic last night? Where he did this very similar build. As the Banshee is moving out. Getting to the natural. Wait till you see Kelazhur does catch out some of these Stalkers. Nice control. Lancer does blink away, but the Banshee has arrived. But detection is in position. The Observer lying in wait. The Banshee forced back. Very nicely done. The Banshee so far does almost nothing. And Lancer is holding. The Banshee does bypass the Stalkers, and we do... Oh, not get a probe. Banshee does at least survive, and is going to force some of the supply to stay back at home, but here comes that tank push. For the time being, Lancer is distracted, but no, he does spot the move out. Leads out a Stalker, which is brutal, but does confirm the army moving out. Boys are being pulled, a handful of them. Kelazhur, he throws down a 3rd CC behind this, so this is not an all-in, but a committed push nonetheless. This needs to get damage done. This needs to trade well. Shield batteries are on the way. Lancer, he misses the army. Yeah, he's out of position. Tanks, they siege up. Massive volleys go off. We force a cancel on the first shield battery. The second is within range. Yeah, we have the overcharge, but the shield battery goes down instantly. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Lancer not ready for this. We're within range of the base, and the base, it's gonna go down. And remember, behind this Kelazhur, he has a 3rd. He doesn't have to keep pushing. Killing the 3rd base of Lancer is all he wanted. Phase on the way. Lancer going for a massive counterattack. There is potential with these Stalkers. There is a lot of potential here. Catching a Banshee. Can dive into the main. Nothing in the main base. 3rd CC is going to be delayed. Workers are going down. No tank whatsoever. Marines, remember, there is no sim. And the Bio Army, it can struggle here against these Stalkers. Lancer's trading well, getting 7 SCVs. Can we get the tank? We get the Raven. Oh, sorry, we get the Banshee and the tank as well. Ay, ay, ay. Kelazhur, he did well for himself, but he's racing back home. He's losing so much. 8 SCVs. We'll clean this up. But Lancer, he's in this. He is still in this. May have lost a 3rd, but he got, what, a tank, delayed the 3rd base of his opponent, 11 SCVs, Marines, Banshees. Insane trade there for Lancer. Again, very smart move to go for the counterattack when he did, recognizing that he could not save the third, that he could not protect his bases. Went for a bit of a Hail Mary play. Did pay off. Back at home, Lancer trying to re-establish his third. Colossus production has begun. Double forge, double upgrades. Lancer threatening the main base once again. Cannot push in towards that tank, but can snipe the add-ons. Can we deny interference matrix? It's gonna be close. Gonna be close. It looks like we can. Yeah, matrix is denied. That's a massive pick-off actually. We have the Raven, but now can only throw down auto turrets, or I guess anti-armor missiles as well. No more disables. Zealots into the natural, forcing friendly fire in the mineral line. Big tank volleys going off. 3 SCVs go down. 5 SCVs. Oh my god. 7, 8. 8 workers going down. At the same time, I believe we shut down the Banshee. Yeah, the Banshee tried to go into the natural. Lancer all over it. It's pointing out 3 Banshees going down. As I say that, we do have a stray Banshee in the main base. Gets 5 probe kills. Kelazhur fighting back. Nicely done. Gets 5 workers. Rotating over. Third CZ being taken. What I will say is that, again, Lancer's done a great job here at recovering from these earlier losses. Pushing into tank range, into tank fire, I think we can pull this off. Stim is still halfway done, bear that in mind. So these Marines aren't anywhere near as effective when it comes to protecting these tanks. Likewise, the Raven does not have Disable. So, Kelazhur, this army is looking quite vulnerable. Lancer can try to break this. At the same time, the War Prism does make it in! It does barely slip in. Tank does on siege. Massive warping into the main. SCVs are going down. And soon it's going to be go time for Lancer. Stim is done in 10 seconds. Yeah, Lancer, he doesn't commit. His main army pulls away. We got 6 SCVs, and then we get the hell out of here. And now the upgrades are finishing up for Kelazhur. He should be able to hold on to his third. And he should be much safer at this point. Meanwhile, Lancer, instead of attacking, takes a fourth. Does take a fourth base. Getting to a Templar Archives, working towards Archons, potentially Storm. We'll see. His Vikings were looking for the Prism, but it did recoil back home. Nicely timed. As Kelazhur gets caught out a little bit. Big swipe shot on the bio. Swipes on the bio. We do see a Lancer rotating over towards the main. And Kelazhur is moving out. We're going to hit that fourth at the same time. Once again, the Zealots do slip in. But we're in position. There we go. Kelazhur shuts down the Prism, shuts down the Zealots. Is moving out. And Lancer's not in position. Yeah, he's not ready for this. He was at the third base. He was not at the fourth. The tanks, they siege up in range. Overcharge gets popped, but the overcharge is depowered. Zealots coming from behind, though. We're getting on top of the tanks. We are breaking through the tank line just barely, and Lancer is shutting this down. Cleans up the main army. And maintains all 4 of his Colossus. That's 4 Colossus. Oh my god. It's crazy. Lancer, he holds, he shuts down the main army. Now we can go for a counterattack. Back at home, 0 tanks. Lancer can push in, but for now he's waiting for reinforcements. War Prism's being rebuilt. Makes sense. With the War Prism we can of course reinforce. We can juggle back. Can micro those Colossus. So Kelazhur has time. He has time to recover. He's reinforcing with Ghosts. Gonna have EMPs. have those EMPs available. And Lancer this time pushing in with a War Prism, not making the same mistake he made in game 1. So I'll say head towards the natural. At the same time, we hit the third. We're gonna force a cancel on the 4CC. Yeah, fourth base. Ooh, was that killed? Uh-oh. I think that was killed, not canceled. The Lancer is snowballing out of control. He's breaking the third. The Vikings are doing what they can. Ghost as well, but there's just not enough of an army. Not enough supply. Lancer's breaking through at the same time. There's a drop across the map. It can do damage, but alas, the main army, it cannot be stopped. Not anymore. GG gets called, and Lancer will take the 2-0. GG. Two, papi, two. Ay. GG, well played. Lancer will take the 2-0. We'll take down Kelazhur. A big win, a strong start for Mystery All Gamers. Very strong start here. GG. Again, I had a really hard time picking kind of who would be the favorite player here. Lancer has been a little bit more on fire as of late and does take the 2-0, does take a lead for his team. But as I mentioned before, Lancer is the ace player. I would stand by that, say he's the ace player for his team, for Mystery All Gamers. Now it's on the rest of his boys to keep up. Now it's on Strange and Coffee. We'll see if the rest of Platinum R8 can fight back. YoungYakov versus Strange coming up next in a ZVP. Let us go. Again, YoungYakov, it's great to see his return. YoungYakov, he went on a bit of a hiatus at the end of 2023. Like, YoungYakov, he kind of disappeared. He stopped competing. He stopped playing in the events. It was a little bit concerning. I was like, oh, is YoungYakov going to be retiring? Like, what's going on? And then he came back. You know, at around the start of the year, a couple months in, he did come back. He joined a new team. He joined Platinum Heroes. And YoungYakov has been active once again. It is great to see some of the younger kind of talents once again rekindling that fire and competing. And when it comes to YoungYakov versus Strange, who do I favor here? I mentioned before that I think I predicted like 1-1 all around. I had a hard time picking favorites. I want to say that, I mean, especially after the loss of Kelazhur, you know, there's a lot of pressure on YoungYakov to fight back and to recover and to tie up the series score. We'll see if he can. See if he can, as our players are getting ready. I did see Easy Phil responding in the chat. US West would have been game 1. Just to reiterate, usually if it's Korea or China versus whether you're in Europe or Brazil, servers do alternate. So it would have been game 1 US West, game 2 Central. Usually it's in that order. Sometimes it's reversed, but usually it's game 1 West, then game 2 Central. Just to keep things fair. Just as a heads up, as we're getting ready here for our next game. Not gonna lie, now, like, coming into another ZVP, what's on my mind is Fiant's clip. I don't know if anyone saw that on Twitter. Fiant, he posted a meme like yesterday, maybe the day before. Oh, that's why just jumping in. We'll talk about the meme later. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have YoungYakov for Platinum R8. And in the top right, we have Strange for Mystery All Gamers. Let's go. I imagine it must have been posted to Reddit, I hope. But Fiant, he posted a meme about how, like, you know, he does so much, he tries so hard against, like, Protoss players, he loses the ladder game, and, like, and then he looks over to see what they're doing, and then we have a clip from Strange's stream where he's peak Protossing, is what I will say. If you missed it, I recommend checking out Fiant's Twitter. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, pew pew pew, that's the best way of putting it. Yeah. As we are settling in. Hold on, let's see if we can find it. Have the technology. Oh, did he remove it? No shot. No shot, bad. For now, we are going to be settling in. It is going to be our hatch gas pool, standard opener here by YoungYakov. Strange going for a gate expand. Into the cyber core. Everything looking as it should. Oh, there it is. Okay. I posted it. Oh, no, Kuro posted it in the chat. Yeah. It's beautiful. For now, we are settling in. When it comes to Strange's PvZ, he usually thrives in the mid game. He can be a very aggressive, very chaotic player, but usually it is in the mid game. Like, there's no like kind of crazy proxies or anything like that that we rely upon early on. So the opener should be standard. We should be working towards a third base. Then on 3 bases, that's where Strange can embrace something like a faster charge based build, charge out into Archon. Very Christiana-esque. I think if I recall correctly, didn't Strange popularize 3-gate glaives? A more macro variation of Glaive Adept. That's something that we could see in this series as well. Strange was quite fond of that for a time. I'm referring to 3-gate glaives without a robo into a faster third Nexus. But we'll see. We shall see as the Overlord is going to be dipping into the main base. Ling, likewise, does threaten the mineral line. That's it. Strange is going to be able to shut this down. And we have yet to embrace any tech. It looks like Strange, he's waiting for the Overlord to go down. The Overlord does fall. And what do you have for us? What do you got? So banking a lot of gas. We're not gonna lie. And there, oh my god, and now we see why Strange calmed down. I was like, mate, are we just not gonna throw down like a tech structure here? We had like 400 gas in the bank. Double Stargate. Okay, he's cooking. Now, is this double Stargate Void Ray? Are we going to go full 2021? Or is it double Stargate Phoenix? Which is a little bit more modern and a little bit more seen. Double Stargate Phoenix into, like, Charge, for example. Meanwhile, as we decide what we're going for, we do have YoungYakov going for a very fast Roach Warren. That is a 3-minute, around 45 Roach Warren timing, so very early on. I'm pretty sure this is designed to counteract something like Glaive Adepts, if we had assumed it was a Twilight Council opener. Likewise, this defense can turn into an offense, and YoungYakov can set up for a Roach push. Getting very early Roaches, there we go. Phoenixes are on the way, so it is more modern. It is going to be double Stargate Phoenix. This can lend very nicely here into Charge. We have seen Hero go for variations of this in the past. We'll see how Strange does approach this match, or does approach this build, and how he brings it all together. Now, specifically against a Roach All-In, this is going to be awful, just because it's very similar to PvT, when a Protoss player is up against a Terran player going 3 racks. If a Terran player goes 3 racks Mass Marine, then what a Phoenix is going to do? What, pick up 1 Marine at a time and then just die, right? Similarly here, YoungYakov, he's not droning. YoungYakov is not droning, he's massing up Ling Roach. Never mind, he's droning. Now he's making workers, he's not going for an all-in, which means in a longer game, we're getting away with these Phoenixes. We're getting away with it. We are vulnerable, but that window where the Protoss player is vulnerable is closing. Now, window vulnerability is closing as we speak. Likewise, Lair is on the way. We're droning up even further. YoungYakov is building up towards a longer game. It looks like that Roach Warren was in fact a safety Roach Warren, and he was just, you know, respecting the build or respecting the tendencies of Strange. Remember earlier, I said that Strange, he's known for going Glaive Adepts, and it felt like YoungYakov was blindly countering that, when really it's anything but Glaives. So really smart play out of Strange to be able to make use of his reputation and use that against his opponent. And now here come the Phoenixes. Oh boy. Here come the Phoenixes. We're zooming across the map, we catch an Overlord, and we're going to be catching more than that. And what do we have in position? We have 4 Queens. We're already at the 3rd. Not bad. But we can bypass the 3rd base. We can head towards the main instead. Catching more Overlords. That's going to be a 2nd and soon to be a 3rd Overlord as well. Good damage. And behind this, it's not going to be... Oh, there's no Spore! There's no Spore in the main base. Queen is going to go down. Drones as well. Spore's just now finishing. The Queens, they're rotating over, but alas, they're a little bit too slow, a little bit too late. 10 workers go down. Ay, ay, ay. And at the same time, what I was getting at, it is not going to be Charge as a follow-up. It's going to be double Robo Immortal. Double Robo Immortal production, but we don't have any Immortals yet. Here comes YoungYakov. He's pushing in. And remember, right now is when Strange is at his weakest, as he has so little on the ground to defend. He does not have any Immortals yet. Void Rays are on the way. Phoenixes, they're racing back home. And we can pick off the Ravagers, but how much more damage is being done? Lings, they're wreaking havoc. There we go. Ravagers are going to get picked up, and Strange will defend. He will clean this up, not without losing more probes, though. Very nice target firing. We focused down 7 more workers, getting an 8th probe, getting a 9th probe as well. Yeah, Strange, unable to save his workers here. So much damage being done. We get 10 probes. That's good. And that's good counter damage, bearing in mind that YoungYakov did lose, as many workers across the map, lost his overlords, lost queens. And the Phoenixes, they're still wreaking havoc, they're still fighting more overlords as well. And now I believe we have the double robo. We can make 2 immortals at a time. Catching another overlord, more drones. Yeah, the roach aggression has subsided, and the Phoenixes, they still have map control. Looking at the production tab, I'm curious, did we cancel a robo? It's possible that we did. Otherwise, we'd be making use of it. So it looks like we may have canceled the second robo, and we're getting into +1, getting into a Templar Archives. Yeah, charge is now on the way. I would not be opposed to a Templar Templar Archives. There it is for the Archon production. So it's going to be charged all Immortal Archon, a very robust ground-based army. Meanwhile, YoungYakov is rushing into Lurkers. The Lunkers back. So the game will continue. The game will continue. There's still a lot of potential for damage here, as we're getting even more drones. Catching a queen. Ooh, for a Phoenix. Not the cleanest trade there for Strange. The cleanest trade as he does get away. Oh wait, no. Okay, we do have the second robo. We're just not using it. Okay, never mind. We do have the second robo. It's just not being made use of. It's chilling there at the natural. There we go. 2 immortals at a time. Storm is on the way. We do have Strange just being active, just clearing up as much creep as possible before pulling away. Has no intention of pushing in. Now, Lurkers are good, but with a high enough immortal count and an Archon count as well, then we can break through this. Like, Lurkers, they can just melt before an immortal-based army. YoungYakov is moving out, but really he's only posturing. He's still teching, he's still droning, waiting for his upgrades to kick in. I'm referring to his Hive upgrades, as the Hive is done. Vipers are on the way as well. I'm really liking the army composition that YoungYakov is working towards, and the problem for Strange is he needs time, and he's a little bit all over the place. What I'm referring to, Strange, he's taking up towards like Storm, Archons, double Robo Immortal, true, and now we throw down a Fleet Beacon and double Stargate for Skytoss. I don't think we really have the setup to get into that. If YoungYakov is passive, then sure, right? If YoungYakov stays back, then Strange, he can embrace the carriers and embrace the Skytoss. But once again, it feels like Strange is quite vulnerable. He's taking up a lot and doesn't have much of an army to work with. There is a timing that YoungYakov can abuse. He can make use of Phoenix as they get across the map. They catch a couple of workers. YoungYakov is about to max. He's about to max out. 6 more Hydras on the way, waiting for +2. You have the Adaptive Talons being researched as well. Lurker range is already done. Yeah, YoungYakov is at that 190 supply. Now, if YoungYakov was aware of this Skytoss, of the Fleet Beacon and the Stargates, then he would be pushing, 100%. Right here, right now, he'd be moving in. I'm concerned. If YoungYakov is more passive, if he still stays back home, then Strange, he's going to get away with this. He's going to get away with it. The longer this goes on, the better it is for Strange. But here we go. YoungYakov is pushing. That's a lot of Lunkers. SWAT's the main army, going for the third. Storm does zone the army back. Wiles. Oh, they do connect. Do get some massive storms, though, once again on the Lurkers. On the Hydras as well. Yeah, the Hydras are going down, but the Blinding Clouds! Oh my god! The Blinding Clouds are brutal. We shut down every single Immortal. But can we peak? Can we keep pushing? That's the question. We barely can. Yeah, the Blinding Clouds were brutal. The Vipers coming in clutch. But no more anti-air. The Void Rays, they clean this up. The Carriers, they have arrived. And Strange holds. He barely holds on. At the same time, Zealot counterattack across the map. Getting to the mineral line, drones are going down. And now we see YoungYakov going for the Spire. A very late Spire here. Okay, we have a game. YoungYakov still has the better economy in a way. Like, he's got 91 drones. Like, that's an economy, papi. So YoungYakov is going to be the first to max out. So once again, it's going to be, once he maxes, can he break the defenses of Strange time and time again? Or can he trade well enough to keep the Skyjust count, the Skyjust numbers in check? As Strange is still recovering. You see YoungYakov rotating over towards the left-hand base. Lings are going to cancel their Nexus, and they will. Yeah, the base is denied. Strange out of position. We're getting on top of the base once again, but not that many lurkers here. Not that many Hydras either, but it's going to be enough. Storms are coming in. Storms that connect with lurkers, and what about the Hydras? Ooh, they will not. Yeah, there's only 3 carriers, and do we have enough Hydras? We barely don't. As we're down to 5 Hydras. Lurkers get cleaned up. This was an overextension from the Zerg. Yeah, this was a big overextension. YoungYakov pushing in too soon and losing everything. Remember, YoungYakov was working towards the base, but he does get the mineral line. Oh my god, the Lings. Okay. Okay, we have it back and forth. YoungYakov, he lost an expensive army, but he does get the mineral line. And bearing in mind, Strange does not have the best economy to begin with. Down to 3 bases. Strange down to a 3-base economy. Lings popping off. Yeah, but we're going for a big counterattack, and do we have enough at home to hold? 13 Corruptors on the way. And we just have to bide our time for those Corruptors. The base is going to go down. But there's not a lot of support here for the carriers. Once the Corruptors arrive, we can try to focus them down. However, there are 2 Archons. Vipers are coming in. The Yoinks! Oh, we get 1. We get 1 carrier, just the 1. The Corruptors trying to dive in. Catching reinforcements, but it looks like Strange, he has too much. He shuts down the Corruptors. He's snowballing out of control. He's done it. It was not the cleanest game, is what I will say. Very scrappy, very messy. GG gets called, and Strange takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, really risky play out of Strange is what I will say. Very risky play. Whether it was embracing double Stargate Phoenix, whether it was rushing into his Sky Toss and not making use of double Robo, really risky play there out of Strange, and did pay off in the end. Did pay off. YoungYakov wasn't able to break him with the first push, and the second push was, I feel like, a little bit too trigger happy there. I'm referring to the move out on the left hand side where YoungYakov, he lost all of his lurkers, lost all of his Hydras. He didn't get a single carrier. The Lings did get the mineral line, true, but that wasn't worth losing all those gas intensive units, the entirety of the ground army, and that did. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Post Youth, we have YoungYakov for Platinum Ari. And in the bottom left, we have Strange for Mystery All Gamers. Gonna be a hell of a surprise when he shows up with the Phoenixes and not the usual Soul Train setup. I mean, hey, it worked, man. It worked. Oh, wait, is that really Kozan? Is that really Kozan? Oh my god, papi. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, papi. Good to see you. Good to see you. As we are settling in. Was Kozan a fellow caster? Always good to see. As we're getting into game number 2, again, Strange and Mystery All Gamers, they have a massive lead so far in this series, and oh boy, is it going to be a clean sweep? Are we going to get a 4-0? I'm hoping not. I'm sure YoungYakov has a plan coming into this. Is going to be going for a hatch pool opener. Interesting. YoungYakov going for a delayed gas. He may even go for a gasless opener. I'm referring to a fast third hatchery. We'll keep an eye on the gas timing for the Zerg play. Yeah, so we would have taken the gas by now. Yeah, we're going gasless. The greed, papi. And Strange confirms. Strange, he confirms the opener. But can we punish it? So what I'm referring to specifically is 0 gas for YoungYakov. By taking 0 gas, this leads into a very fast third hatchery and leads into late link speed, late tech in general. Does mean that we're vulnerable, and there we go. Double gate opener out of Strange. With a double gate opener, we're going to be aggressive with Adepts. First 2, then 4, then potentially even 6. These vanilla Adepts can do quite a lot, especially if your opponent doesn't have link speed. We'll see if that's what we go for. We'll see how much damage Strange can get done. We'll see if he can punish the greed of YoungYakov. As YoungYakov is still not taking the gas. Likewise, still has not taken the third base, but should be doing so momentarily. There we go. Third hatchery is on the way. So just a this is as greedy as you can be as a Zerg player. Like, this is, like, you don't get much greedier than this other than a faster third. Gasless from YoungYakov. We have our first 2 adepts on the way. Again, with that 2-gate opener. We do have adept aggression. Slowlings do slip in, though. They will delay the push, ideally. Getting a full scout. YoungYakov is aware of the 2 gateways, so YoungYakov should be making extra lings back at home. Should be. As you can see, Strange is investing into the 3rd and 4th adept as well. Is doubling down, but he's actually going to be... yeah, this is actually going to be a delayed push because of these lings. We're busy chasing them down. And every second does count. As we're giving YoungYakov more time to mass up more lings, mass up more queens, and defend. Oh, he's doing it again. Oh my, he's doing it again, Papi. Double Stargate. I imagine Mass Phoenix for the 2nd game in a row. Technically, we could go Mass Void Ray, but again, Mass Phoenix is a little bit more modern nowadays. It's a little bit more flexible as well. As Adepts, they shade into the main, they focus on the lings, but what about the mineral line? Hey, we're going to focus on the Adepts. Yeah, rough shade for Strange. He's at an Adept, has reinforcements. We'll shave off these lings, and will force these gases at the 3rd. Some okay damage, but we're hoping for more. We're looking for drone kills. Meanwhile, here comes the scout, YoungYakov. This time he confirms. He gets eyes on the Stargates, he gets eyes on the Phoenixes. Much better scout here from YoungYakov. So this time he's fully aware of what's going on. As a result, this time YoungYakov won't make an early roach run and not make use of it. He won't invest into, these early lings and roaches. Instead, we can drone up, get into a lair, and get into Hydra Tech. Oh, much faster reaction though. Okay. I'm all aboard. So, Strange, because he got scouted after killing the Overlord, that's a very fast Robo and Twilight Council. Much faster than the previous game. So he's already switching his tech. He knows that this time the Phoenixes are going to be less effective, and this time he has to switch as fast as possible into something different, into something ground-based. Meanwhile, Lings, they're going for the surround. Slow Lings, they do catch an Adept. And this should not have happened anywhere near as quickly. So, 1 Adept goes down. We deny the 3rd. Nice moves here with these Lings. Oh, that's a gateway explosion. That's a lot of gateways. We're going for mass Glaven. Oh my god. Wait, what? We're going for 8 gates Glaven Eps. That's a lot of gateways. 2 base all in. 2 base all in at Strange. At the same time, we do see YoungYakov investing into a lair. That is Numis has Carapace. YoungYakov, he's going for a German Taxi. A variation of German Taxi. He's going for Lings, Queens, and Dropper Lords. Bailey Nest on the way as well. And who do I favor? If it was just Ling Queen, I would favor Strange, but with a Bailey Nest, suddenly it's a little bit more complicated. Suddenly, if the Bailings connect, then we can shut down the Adepts real quick. Lings poking in, they get eyes on some of the gateways. God, that's 7 gates? 7 gates all the way, that's gonna be a 9 gate all in. Oh my god. Okay. Now, as long as we have Bailings, right? As long as we have Bailings morphed in, then we're going to be okay. YoungYakov, he's going to be okay here. Did we finish the Bailing Nest? I did see it earlier. Ooh, drones are getting caught out. Adepts are spotted. And I'm hoping we did finish the Bailing Nest. Otherwise, we might be in some trouble. No, okay, it's on the way. It's on the way. There we go. 9 Bailings in production. We just have to buy time for those Bailings. Lings, they come in for a surround. They're going to get shut down by the Adepts. Okay, the Lings, they melt. We're getting into the middle line. 6 drones are going down. Bailings do morph in. And they connect. No splits, no reaction. Massive connections. And we shut down the first wave of Adepts already. And remember, Strange is all in. The longer this goes on, the worse it is for Strange. He has to end the game here and now with this army. And it's not good enough. Does shade into the main. Good positioning. Is getting some economic damage, but still not enough. Yeah, the earlier lack of split is killing Strange. So we're bringing more adepts 9 at a time. Roach Warden is done. Some of the Banelings are getting picked up, but yeah, alas, we just don't have momentum. Not anymore from the Protoss. We pick up every single Baneling. Again, slick moves here out of Strange, but it may just be too little too late. Banelings, they surround one Baneling connects. Roaches have arrived. And YoungYakov defends. He does defend. He shuts this down completely. And the only thing we can do for Strange is just warp in adepts. That's all he can do. Hope and pray that we somehow bypass the main army, get out of control, but it's not going to happen. And more roaches trickling in, and YoungYakov, he's going to shut this down. And we fight back. Platinum are 8, they were down 3-0. And we are looking to bounce back here and now. We shut down the Prism, no more reinforcements. It is the last wave of adepts. Banelings, once again, they connect. Oh, we have Lings in position. GG gets called, and YoungYakov takes the game and fights back. GG, well played. A bittersweet smile there. I'm sure he wanted a 2-0. It's okay, Papi, it's okay. GG, well played. Platinum right there. Yes, it has happened in the past, and yeah, Coffee, he does like to think outside. There we go, we have our players getting ready. Game 1 is going to be on Post-Youth. We're loading into this map once again. Now, I hope that you enjoyed the Phoenixes in the last game. I'm sure we're going to be seeing some Phoenixes here out of Goblin. I'm sure at some point, doing his Papi proud. But here we go in the bottom left-hand corner, we have Goblin for Platinum R8. And in the top right, we have Coffee for Mystery All Gamers. Let's go. Still younger than most Yakov. Is that true? How old is he? How old is Yakov? Yakov. I'm gonna expose him. 20 years old. It's over. Oh my god. He skipped Teen Yakov. He skipped it. He's young adult Yakov. Ah, I like it. Let's go. Young adult Yakov. For now, we're settling in. We're settling in, and we'll see how greedy our players are going to be. Shall see. As for now, it is going to be a single gas opener out of Coffee, going for a Rax Expand. Again, we're loading into Post-Youth. We have a pocket base, or we have, I should say, a hybrid base in the main. So, with that, it's typically a game of greed early on. Take advantage of the base itself, and settle into the mid-game. Gotta go hard. Take care, Papi. Take care. 20 OGs retired, collecting social security. Sag. It's over, Papi. It's over. Oh, no. Much love to YoungYakov. Much love. To Mr. Yakov. Ah. But now, yep, there's that CC. So again, economic opener out of Coffee, Rax Expand. Likewise, Goblin going for a Gate into Nexus as well. Gate Nexus into Cybercore. Is settling in. We're just easing our way into this game, and we'll see if Goblin does embrace something like a Stargate or a Twilight Council. Again, Post-Youth is an interesting one just because you can be hyper greedy, but at the same time, the rush distance by ground is very short rush distance by ground. So because of that, it may be a little bit too greedy to open up Stargate. As I say that, there it is, Stargate opener out of Goblin. The beginning of Phoenixes, I would imagine. Not unheard of to go Oracle first, but that is typically done by more aggressive players. Phoenixes, I'm sure, on the horizon for Goblin. As the Reaper dips in, but the Scout is denied. Goblin does zone Coffee away. Behind this, Coffee getting into his Rax Expand into a 1-1-1. Interesting, going for the Proxy Starport, setting up for a Hellion drop. Again, Hellion drops can be brutal on this map. Hellions, three of them do, of course, one-shot probes, and if they line up, a mineral line can be eviscerated real quick. The barbecue can be real. We see if Goblin can piece it all together. Reaper goes for the dive. We have yet to scout the tech, and the Reaper, do we get behind the mineral line? Oh, the probes! The probes, they zone the Reaper away. We do not scout the tech. We don't see what's going on. We don't confirm the Stargate. Whew. Do not confirm. So nice moves there out of Goblin. Meanwhile, Coffee, undeterred, is still committed. Medevac is on the way. Hellions are rallying across the map. We're getting ready for our drop. And we'll see if Goblin can react in time, if he can respond. And it minimizes losses. Hallucination does confirm that the tech is missing. Where's the starport? Where's the starport? Where's the second Rax? Should be somewhere. Hellions, they dive in. Only 3. Okay, we don't go for the 4th. Ooh, probes do line up for a moment. 3 workers go down. 5 workers even. As the other Hellion just walked in. Okay. Getting 6 probe kills, and we're not done. We're diving into the main. Looking for more damage, but alas, the Hellions will be lifted, and we will clean this up. We will shut this down. Getting 9 probe kills. Not bad. Yeah, just a 9. Medevac is racing back home. Back at home, we can see Coffee massing up his Marines, getting into Cyclones. No Vikings. Going for the Liberator across the map to harass. Coffee doubling down on the aggression. Love to see it. The Liberator will siege in the main. As the Phoenixes move out, we don't have that much home to defend. And probes will fall. Back at home, the Phoenixes don't get any counter damage. We get 4 probes across the map, forcing the recall. To force the recall. And so far, so good. Coffee takes a worker lead, which is something you don't often see here, but he does take that economic advantage. Settling into his 3-1-1. Stim is on the way, +1 as well. Meanwhile, Goblin just working towards his eventual tech of choice, the Robo, the Twilight Council. I assumed it was going to be Phoenix Colossus. Did assume. With that Twilight Council, we can get into charge lots to help support the army. To help get into those Colossus. Going for the Prism first, actually. Okay. Makes sense. I mean, there's a lot of pressure on Goblin to get some counter damage done with these Phoenixes and with drop play. Stepping in. Catching Marines. Not bad. Going for the Cyclone. Yeah, the Bio Army having a hard time keeping up. Remember, Stim is not yet done. The Marines, they cannot keep up. Charge is on the way. No base, so it's going to be Phoenix charge lots here from Goblin. So additional gateways are being thrown down. Phoenixes, they rotate, they deny the 3rd CC, they delay. More importantly, they confirm, right? They confirm there's a 3rd base in production, so now Goblin is aware that Coffee is not going for an all-in. Coffee is trying to set up for a longer game. As the Goblin is camping that starport. The Marines are in position. Stim, we're still 10 seconds away. Oh, and the Medevacs, they barely will escape. Just barely. Stim now finishing up. And the Phoenix is going to be that much less effective now. Now that we have Stim. We have to respect the buyer, respect the Marines. I say that we will catch reinforcements. Nice moves. Ooh, so we barely do get away. Behind this now we have the Bay working towards Colossus. Has been delayed in favor of Charge. See if that was the right call. So we're building up towards Colossus. I'm building up towards it. Coffee taking his 3rd. Goblin does confirm. I scout here from Goblin. Making sure there's no crazy cancel or anything like that. Scan confirms the Bay that's on the way. Towards we do shut down the Widow Mines. Yeah, the Observer paying off. That does tip Coffee off. Now he knows that there's an Observer somewhere. Doesn't know where. Goblin catching 2 SCVs. Does threaten the main army, catching a Medevac. Yeah, and Coffee just cannot keep up. These Phoenixes, they're just so mobile. Ah, we missed the Observer! No shot! The Observer behind the army, not in front. That was a wasted scan, and the Observer does catch the drop as well. Goblin, he sees all, he knows all. And he will catch his medevacs. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, full medevac goes down, second medevac, third one as well. Brutal losses for Coffee. Again, that Observer is the MVP. Didn't allow for this to happen. We do catch a Phoenix, but that's still not a worthwhile trade for Coffee. At the same time, Warp Prism into the main, going for a massive Zealot Warp in. Second Robo's on the way for double Colossus. And Coffee is out of position, not ready for that Warp in. Goblin pushing in already. He has no chill. And GG gets called. There's just nothing left here for Coffee. Goblin will take game number 1. GG. Oh, he's drinking the coffee. That's like the most classic, was missing the piggy up. True. Did miss it. But here we go. In the top right hand corner, we have a Goblin for Platinum R8. In the top left, we have a Coffee for Mystery All Gamers. Let's go. Settling into game number 2. Original was parting eating sun chips because CY's name means sun. Yes. Taeyang translates to sun. I think it translates to either sun or solar, but like, you know, sun nonetheless. But true. Goblin Slayer anime person in the background. True. True. There you go. There you go. That's all we need. I think one of my favorites was, I think when we casted Azure versus Crimson, I think Azure had like an A4 piece of paper of the color Crimson and like tore it up. Cause that's what you do. Beautiful. Battle of the colors. As we are settling in. Now the peak celebration, there were 2 if you remember. If you're a fan of Pro League, there was parting using the ruler to snipe Flash, right? Because Flash is known for his ruler. So there was that. And then there was also, if I remember, Stork. I think his nickname is Dinosaur. And they had someone dressed up in a dinosaur costume. And then was it Flash who like killed the dinosaur with a ruler? Like used the ruler as a sword? Am I crazy? Did that also happen? Those are the 2 celebrations that stick in my mind from Pro League. The ruler snipe and the dinosaur slayer. Good times, good times. Bring the celebrations back, Bobby. Bring them back. No. So now we're settling in. It's going to be another Stargate opener by Goblin. This is a bit of a riskier move. So typically when you go for Stargate openers, they're more ideal on larger maps because it's harder to punish Stargate play if your opponent's opening up economically. You know, maps like Alkyone, maps like Side Delta, that's where we typically see Stargate play. On smaller maps like this, where your opponent's more likely to open up aggressively with double gas, then it's riskier to open up with Phoenixes, as you are vulnerable to earlier pushes. So this is a bit of a risky move here by Goblin, but it is iconic, right? Goblin, he's known for his Phoenixes, he's known for his Stargate. It's what he does enjoy, it's what he does prefer. We'll see if we can get away with it. Ooh, as this is the beginnings of a 2-base all-in. Okay, so Coffee did open up with a faster factory. We have a second Rax on the way. What I'm referring to here is that Coffee has not thrown down a starport. Coffee is going, as we do, trade with the Marines. 2 Marines going to be going down. Cyclone does arrive. We will shut down the Adept. Cyclone will defend. What I'm referring to is that with the delayed starport, that means we're prioritizing Stim. Stim is going to be very fast. Compared to last game, insanely fast Stim is on the way for Coffee. Likewise, bioproduction as well. And yeah, we're going for a 3rd Rax before starport. And with this is the setup to go for a 2-base all-in and pull the boys. So would not be surprised if Coffee pulls the boys with the Stim timing. Ooh, Goblin going for the 3rd base before Robo. Very greedy here out of Goblin. Very greedy play. delays his tech in favor of the economy, and we'll see if Goblin gets away with this, as Goblin has yet to confirm the build of choice. Goblin doesn't know what Coffee is up to. And honestly, Coffee, he's primed. He's primed to go for an all-in. For now, we're still waiting for our first, second, and third tank. So we're building up the tank count, building up the marine count. We may decide to move out without medevacs, period, or we may just go for a delayed starport into medevacs and then we push with medevacs instead. As Phoenixes are moving out. And again, very important that we scout the main. We need to get an eye on what's going on. We do dip in, we get eyes on the 2-1. The third Vax is hidden behind the main base, so it's going to be a little bit harder to determine what's happening. But Goblin does at least confirm that Stim is already on the way. He saw the researching tech lab. He sees the setup. And how do we respond to this? We need to slow down the push. With these pieces, we need to pick away at the Marines, at the tanks. There we go. We pull the boys. We're going for the all-in. We are not waiting for the medevacs. It's all or nothing for Coffee. And Goblin, he's not set up for this. Shield battery's just now on the way. Was he too greedy, Papi? We do catch reinforcements. We do catch a couple of reinforcements. Not bad. Boys have arrived. We do catch another Marine. Again, whatever we can get. 2 more Marines. Not bad. This is what, like 8 Marines in total? Very nicely done. We're scanning ahead of time. We're diving on the main army. Bunkers are on the way. Now we forget about the bunkers. We just siege up. We just go for it. We go for the kill. Tanks, they focus down the stalkers, focus down the shield batteries. The bio army, can we keep up with those Phoenixes? It's going to be close. The first tank is going down. And we've run out of SCVs. Oh, have we lost too much steam? Coffee, we have to keep pushing. Have we lost too much? We take down the shield batteries, yes, but we have Slowlords warping in. Phoenixes, they come in from behind, going for the tanks. They're getting ready for the dive. They pick up one of the tanks. Charge is done. And Goblin, he's shutting this down. Cleans up the bio, shuts down the tanks. GG gets called. Oh, the quadruple G. As Goblin will take the series 2-0. We'll survive the all-in. GG, well played. Oh, no coffee. Oh, there we go. What I appreciate is how nonchalant that was. That it almost felt like he forgot about the coffee until the end. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Goblin. GG, well played. He survives the all-in. Again, so important. He picked up, I want to say it was around 8 Marines. Like 8 Marines in the process of the all-in. Was able to slow it down, able to deny any anti-air. And again, Coffee just took a little bit too long to get across the map, or just didn't have enough to break through that defensive line. GG, and with that, we have an ace match. We're going all the way to Game 7. It all ends here on Oceanborn. A best of 1. Best of 1 is coming up ahead of us. And who's it going to be? Now, when it comes to the ace players, I mentioned before, I do think of Lancer being the ace player for Mystery All Gamer, so Lancer feels like the obvious pick. From the side of Platinum R8, I feel like we have a little bit more leeway. I feel like the skill disparity between Goblin, YoungYakov, and Kelazhur is a little bit lessened. Like, I think they're all comparable. And I feel like it comes down to who is feeling strongest on the day, who's feeling confident, and specifically, who's feeling confident against Protoss, right? I feel like we can counter-snipe. Again, I feel like Lancer is the more obvious pick, and because of that, Platinum R8 can think about it, they can approach this in a different way, and they can try to snipe Lancer. It's going to be wild if we pick Coffee. I mean, Coffee is another viable option, true, but after losing 2 games, considering kind of the ordering of the matches as well, it's also possible that Coffee is like a little bit, I wouldn't say tilted, but like, I don't know, even frustrated, right? Like, mental state does play a factor here after losing 2 games. He may not feel 100% to dive in for the ace match. We'll see. We shall see. There's the flip side. The other side of things is that maybe Coffee feels like frustrated and upset and like wanting to redeem himself. You know, he knows he's a good player. He knows that he's good enough to bring down a player like Goblin. Coffee might feel like he, you know, he wants that chance at redemption. Possible. But we'll see. We shall see. Fun fact, no one predicted this. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I went 1-1. I think I went 1-1 for all 3 matches. But yeah, no one predicted this specific scoreline. Crazy. I mean, we had some upsets. I don't think anyone predicted Goblin to 2-0. I don't think I think maybe some people predicted Lancer to 2-0. I think there was some predictions for that. But crazy, man, crazy. Was it not a team that ate grapes when they won, or do I remember wrong? Yes, that was the Grape Boys. That was Starving Camels, the Starving Camels. That was Firefly, papi, Firefly. That was last year. For those that are curious, there was a Chinese team called the Starving Camels. This was before Firefly got picked up by Platinum Heroes and then Offside Esports. And their logo was a camel initially eating cactus, which evolved into a camel eating grapes. And their players, they popped off. Like, they were the fan favorites. Like, there were a lot. Like, I was a Starving Camel fan. They had a lot of fans. They had some amazing matches. That was peak WTL. And yes, they had grapes. It's beautiful. Cool. Here we go. We are stepping in. Starving Camels were a great team. Sorely missed. Yeah. They were amazing. I missed them, Papi. I missed them. I mean, Firefly, he still gets plenty of showtime just because of because I would say he's the ace player of Offside Esports. True. But they have had a rough performance so far this season. Regardless, we're getting ready here for the ace match. Who's it gonna be? Does anyone in the chat, what do you guys think? Goblin, YoungYakov, or Kelazhur? Who comes out as the ace? Is it a PvP between Goblin and Lancer? Is it gonna be the PvP? Let's find out. Let us find out. What do you have for us? 100%. Oh my god. No rematch between Goblin and Coffee? There's no rematch between Kelazhur and Lancer? I'm leaning towards the PvP as well. I'm leaning towards it. We'll see. Whew. Regardless, it's going to be a best of one. Best of one on Oceanborn. It all ends here. All ends on this one map. Let's go. Oh, we have our picks. Oh wait, oh my god, wait, what? This was not an option, Papi. It is gonna be Goblin, it's not gonna be Lancer, it's gonna be the Taiwanese Protoss player, Lemon. Okay, let's go. For those that are curious, when it comes to your ace pick, you don't have to pick a player that played. It just has to be a player on your roster. Just a player on your roster. If they're available, they can play, and Lemon is our choice. Now, Lemon has been popping off. Lemon has been really leveling up when it comes to the Southeast Asian region. He's been looking more and more impressive. Do I favor Lemon as a pick over Lancer? I wouldn't. I mean, I'll be honest. Like, this is, as much as I love Lemon, and we've casted a lot of Lemon on this channel, Lancer would have been my go-to, so I'm curious. I was talking about, like, the counter pick. I was talking about the snipe, you know, sniping Lancer, for example. If we pick Lemon, it has to be for a good reason. It has to be that Lemon has a specific build to whip out, right? Right? Like, in PvP specifically, I'm referring to. I'm curious. I'm ready. Mystery gamers. Sorry, mystery all gamers. They're cooking, Papi. They're cooking. Let them cook. Let them cook. Show us what you got. Is this when Lancer, he was stepping up to the stage, and then Lemon comes out with a steel chair, he knocks Lancer out, takes control of his PC, jumps in, the Colossus out of nowhere. Let's go. Okay, Papi, let's go. I'm ready for it. And here we go, spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have Goblin for Platinum R8, and in the bottom right, we have Lemon for Mystery All Gamers. Whew, let's go. 11 PP is gone. Better than Max Packs. True. Better than, I mean, he is basically Max Packs. I mean, look at this. Lemon, he doesn't have a webcam. No cam for Lemon. He is a Colossus. But it could be Artanis in that Colossus. It could be Max Packs. True. Could be one and the same. Everyone thought Max Packs was from Denmark. No. He's from Taiwan. That's the real twist. Max packs, the Taiwanese Protoss, confirmed. Let's go. As for now, we are going to be settling in. Is going to be our initial double gas opener into, I imagine, 2 gateways. We'll keep an eye on our probes. We'll keep an eye on any kind of crazy proxy play. I'm sure that Goblin is going to be very paranoid coming up against Lemon. Like, Lemon is a pick from out of left field, right? It's a wild pick for the ace player, so I'm sure that Goblin is going to be on his toes. As we have our initial 2 gates, and no one is opening up with a gate expand or a gate cyber opener. No one is crazy enough to pull a max packs. Not in the ace match. Not in the ace match here, as Goblin coming in with a probe scout. Both players are going to be looking for their second pylons, and we can see that the second pylons, I mean the player's about to confirm as well, they have not been proxied. They are in the main base, no proxies whatsoever. Everything is looking by the book. Everything is looking as it should here in this PvP. No proxy, no fake proxy either. We're settling in. It's going to be a double Stalker opener out of Lemon. It's going to be Stalker Sentry out of Goblin. Goblin's opener is a little bit more macro oriented. It does give you some scouting information, very defensive as well. Lemon's opener is more aggressive. With double Stalker, we can follow this up with a 3rd and 4th Stalker as well, move out across the map and try to out-trade and out-control your opponent. So we'll see if that's the case. We'll see if we do follow this up with additional Stalkers. But now both Stalkers have arrived and should be vying for map control. Lemon following it up with the Sentry. Okay. So with the Sentry follow-up, it is just going to be for scouting information. Again, a bit of a more passive follow-up here out of Lemon. Which means we're settling into our 2 bases. We're settling into our 2-base setup. Safety shield battery on the way for Goblin. Again, he doesn't know if there's more Stalkers on the way, so taking this very seriously. Lemon does poke in, but he's just really kind of faking aggression or feigning aggression. Just puffing up his chest, poking in, but not really committing. Behind this, we have our tech of choice. Going to be a Twilight Council follow-up here by Lemon. And this is going to be scattered and confirmed by the hallucination. Goblin does confirm. And Goblin opening up Robo. Okay, we're going to have a very different dynamic. So, Lemon will have a more mobile army. Lemon is going to have more micro potential with Blink Stalkers. Meanwhile, Goblin, actually not going for too much of a late Twilight Council. He goes Robo first into Twilight Council. So I should say there's going to be a window. There's going to be a timing, a very small timing where Lemon has Blink over his opponent. But again, not the largest of windows. Most likely, Goblin's going to be able to keep up and catch up. With the Robo opener as well, Goblin, he's just being secure against DTs. Because he scattered the Twilight Council, if there was a proxy Dark Shrine, for example, then Goblin will be safe. He will have detection. So just really safe play out of Goblin. Oh my god, speaking of Dark Shrine! I was like, Goblin, he's going to be safe against DTs. He'll be fine. And then he's the one that throws it down instead. I mean, it makes sense because, do you see what I see? The same thing as Goblin. No Robo. No Robo from Lemon. Lemon has not played it safe. He does not have access to detection. These DTs can end the game. Oh boy. Lemon coming with hallucination does confirm the 3rd base, but he needs to get into the main. He needs to, and he will. Somewhat. Go in, Pap. There we go. Does confirm, does get eyes on the Dark Shrine, is aware, and he should respond with a Robo. There we go. Robo's on the way, Forge as well. We should be okay. Lemon does confirm, and it's going to take a little bit to get into his own Observer. The War Prism's already moving out across the map. We are a little bit vulnerable, but for the most part, we should be able to survive this and get into the mid-game. Watch Goblin sip on a Sprite all of a sudden. Oh, let's go. No. He's gonna bite on a lemon wedge, Papi. Let's go. You know how it is. Take a shot of tequila. Get the salts. Take the lemon. That's how we do, Papi. That's how we do. For now, the prism is gonna be shut down. Oh my god. Barely does escape. Barely does get away. The one DT gets a probe, but not much more than that. We have cannons, we have observers, we're safe and sound. We are safe and sound. Again, Lemon taking it very seriously, going for the cannons as well, just making sure he has stationary detection. Both players getting to a 3-base setup, both players with comparable worker counts, and with the initial robo, of course, Goblin is able to embrace faster immortal production. Oh, the army is spotted, and this Prism can dive in. No cannon at the third. It is a little bit concerning. Again, Lemon, he's aware of that War Prism as well. He saw it earlier. And DT's waddling in. And there is... Okay, there is an Observer. Whew. Thankfully. Is the Observer. We dive with the Immortal! And first Immortal is going to be going down. We have the Overcharge. The Overcharge just in time. Big overextension by Lemon. He bleeds out a lot of Stalkers. DT waddles in, gets 2 probes. Nice force fields out of Lemon. Does slice up the army. But that was still a better trade for Goblin. At the same time, we get into the main base. We depower the gateways. Ooh, a bit of an Artosis pylon. Ay, ay, ay. Not the biggest of deals, but gateways are caught depowered. And the Goblin has momentum. He just won a fight. He's moving out across the map. He does have the supply advantage. Does have the army lead. And Lemon, he's in trouble. He is now in trouble here. Do we have any shield batteries at the third? I hope so. If we have a shield battery, if we have an overcharge, it's still on the way. It's just going to finish up just in time. For the Immortals, they do so much to the back line. Boys, they have to be pulled. Overcharge is popped. Lemon, he dives in. Doesn't quite get the Immortal. Nice juggling here at a Goblin. Does juggle back. Nice target find. We do focus on one of the Immortals, but we're still bleeding out so much. Probes are going down. Goblin, he holds his own. The second Immortal has survived. And Goblin, he's breaking through. Is breaking through. 10 worker kills. Lemon will hold on with his own defensive Immortal. Does hold. Does survive. Goblin rotating over. Does rotate. DT slips in. It does slip in. We do have the Prism. But we're bleeding out Stalkers. Stalkers are going down. Zealots, they're going to be able to catch the Immortal though. Not a bad trade if it wasn't for this DT. Again, I'm a little bit surprised. We saw the cannon in the natural, but we never had a cannon here at the third, and we're punishing Lemon so hard for the lack of cannon. Just singular DTs waddling in. And Lemon, he's moving out. He's had enough. Catching up some Stalkers, not bad. These Zealots are doing well. Are doing well for themselves. Mortal has arrived, but oh, Goblin, he does pick those Zealots apart. Very nice blink control. Lemon rotating around, backing up. And we are trying to saturate our fourth base. We're trying to play catch up, but Goblin still has that economic lead that translates into a larger army. More blink Stalkers. Charge now on the way for Goblin. Lemon does have the upgrade advantage, but we're about to catch up in upgrades. +1 now done for Goblin. And we're just picking away at those Zealots, shaving them off. Trading Stalkers for Zealots, but that was still a lot of Zealots going down. There is going to be a small window where Lemon has +2 over his opponent, but again, it's only going to last a couple of seconds. Not the biggest of windows. The rocks are being knocked down. Goblin pushing forward. Lemon misses the main. Oh, he's outspot the army. The Prism up. Oh, we barely do snipe it. Prism goes down. And Goblin, he's caught out. As I say, that does catch reinforcements. Does outposition Lemon. Rotating over, trying to get the hell out of here. That was a nice moment for Lemon, but barely does not catch those Stalkers. Doesn't get the surround. Whew. And we can take a moment to breathe here. We can take a moment to breathe. Both players up to 71 workers, both players on 4 bases. Goblin now has charge lots, not just purely Zealot. Sorry, not just purely Blink Stalker, not anymore. Lemon does have the one Immortal. Can make the difference. We did just waste a blink. Time forward, charge lots are diving in. No Archons. Not for either player, to be fair. Goblin does chase Lemon back. DT's welding in. Do we have a cannon? Oh, we do. Just the one. Shield battery should be able to keep alive a little bit longer. There we go. We have the overcharge. We will hold. At the same time, main army's clash. We snipe the Immortal. The Immortal gets caught out. And Lemony doesn't have enough. Yeah, Goblin is just overwhelming the main army. Catching out the Stalkers, cutting Lemon off. And it could be it here and now. I say that reinforcements have arrived. Lemon, he can hold on. Does have a comparable Stalker count, but pushing into a concave. And will barely hold on to his 5th. We hold, Pappy, we hold. But here come reinforcements, and at this point, it's just a numbers game. Goblin up 20 army supply. And the shield battery is not yet done. To take a moment here. +3 on the way for Lemon. +3 has not begun yet for Goblin. So if the game goes on any longer, no, never mind. We started up. It does begin +3. Goblin can dive in, rotating over, head towards the 3rd. You know, that one Archon coming into play. True, we did have DTs. Very tense moment here. Lemon trying to keep up with the army rotation. Can catch that Prism once again. Yeah, Prism goes down. We get the Prism, but we lose a base. The Nexus, it does fall. Massive pickup. 4 base versus 4 base. Goblin taking a 5th. Is expanding. Likewise, he has the high ground. Has a concave as well. Lemon is pushing in. But he cannot push into this army. Not up this ramp. They'll snipe the Archon. Yeah, but a brutal trade for Lemon. Bleeds out the Immortal. Ay, ay, ay. And brutal loss. At the same time, goes for his own dive. It trades out the Immortals. Zealots have arrived. Lemon gaining some momentum. Just gaining a bit of momentum. Re-expanding. I don't think Lemon has spotted the base on the right-hand side. Not yet. Don't think he has spotted it. And he can't do much about it anyway, as he bleeds out so many Zealots. Again, Lemon, he has to rely on some counterattacks or run-bys to try and distract the main army, get some economic damage done. Alas, he's just been trading with the main army of Goblin, and it just hasn't been working well here for him. Does get eyes on the base, but prone to getting surrounded. Yeah, Goblin, he collapses in, catches out the Stalkers, and this may just be it. Zealots from one end, Stalkers from the other, and we're chasing Lemon down, and there's no way out of this. We force the recall. Oh, a brutal loss. Lemon does make it back home, but he barely has an army standing. And this series has been very back and forth, has made it all the way to the ace match, but Goblin, he's popping off. Is going to snowball out of control, even with the cannons and shield batteries. It may not even matter. Goblin taking it slow, backs off, waits for reinforcements, goes for a warp in before diving forward. This time he keeps the Prism back. And can set up for a warp in, overcharge is popped. The overcharge does hold the line for a moment, but here come the reinforcements, and Goblin, he's still breaking through. Do snipe one of the Immortals, but there's still one more in the back line. And it looks like Goblin, he has done. He's broken the back. GG gets called, and Goblin will take the game and the series 4-3, and will win it all for Platinum R8. GG, well played. Goblin winning every single game here in this series, popping off 3-0, Papi. Oh my god. GG, well played. Reprising his role as the ace for Platinum R8. Congratulations. Congratulations here to Platinum Heroes and R8 Esports. They do take the series. It was a close one though. It was a very close one. It was a very close series that went all the way to the ace match. I wonder what the reasoning was why we didn't have Lancer, right? Like, we were all expecting it. We were all like, yo, 100% Lancer is coming out as the ace player. Instead, it was Lemon. And I mean, no shame to Lemon. Lemon, he's a good player, don't get me wrong, but I was still favoring Lancer there instead, and maybe he was unavailable, right? Like, maybe Lancer, after his series, he was like, you guys got this, and you know, he went out, and I would imagine that's the case. I would imagine that Lancer was unavailable, and yeah, they did rely on Lemon instead. As a result, he just wasn't able to bring it here to Goblin, and with that, GG. GG, well played. Platinum R8 will take it, and now we're going to be going on a short break. Going to be going on a short break here. When we return, we will have our final best of 7. We will have Team Vitality versus Psystorm Na'Vi. We spoke about MaxFax earlier, and he should be making his appearance here for his team for Psystorm. Going to be going on a short break. We'll see you guys soon in a couple of minutes. What scene am I going for? Hold on.